Almost 3 weeks back, the Supreme Court, by the virtue of power conferred upon it by Article 142 of the Constitution, issued directives to the states and the police and emphasized that voluntary sex workers are entitled to constitutional rights enshrined in Article 21, like people working in any other professions. We already have made an explainer about Article 142. Go to the link mentioned in the description box to watch that explainer. These recent guidelines have made a lot of news, and in this video we will discuss all about this current directives. We will also try to highlight a few important aspects which perhaps have been misconstrued by this recent happening. But before that, do like and subscribe our channel, and do not forget to hit the bell icon for more updates and other videos. So first things first. Contrary to what many are thinking and have been led to believe, the Apex Court has not recognized voluntary same-sex as a legal profession for the first time. In fact, there have been several previous judgments that it already recognized it as a profession. The court has just said that sex workers and their children are covered by protections granted by Article 21 of the Constitution of India, just like every other profession and person, besides laying down certain guidelines for the police and the states. The guidelines, among others, mention provision of immediate medical assistance for any sex worker who is a victim of sexual assault, sensitizing the law enforcement agencies to the rights of sex workers and their children, etc. In our country, voluntary sex has always been legal, although with some restrictions. The court has not laid down a new legal position in this regard. Engaging in voluntary prostitution was never illegal by itself in India. Rather, its ancillary aspects such as curb calling, pimping, child prostitution, trafficking for prostitution, forcing someone to sell their body for monetary incentives, running brothels, etc. were illegal. Soliciting in public places was illegal. Prostitution was not a crime at private spaces. In short, no new recognition of sex work as a legal profession has happened. But yes, in terms of public perception, this order may of course help clarify to those who were not aware of the legal position that sex work is not illegal in India. There are around 15 countries in the world that have various degrees of regulations related to sex work, mostly legalizing and ensuring safeguards for sex workers. It is pertinent to note that globally there are 3 types of nations when it comes to prostitution-related activities and the legal frameworks. First, those nations where prostitution is completely illegal in terms of law, such as Afghanistan, Morocco, etc. Second, those countries where it is legal and is regulated with proper and specific laws. A few of such nations are New Zealand, Australia, Austria, Netherlands, etc. And the third category are those nations where prostitution is not illegal in itself, but is legal with certain restrictions and limitations. India, China, France belong to this third group of nations. Now, let us take a quick look at what various courts have said over the years in favor of sex workers. In February 2011, in Buddhadev Karmaskar versus State of Bengal, the Supreme Court had ruled that sex workers have a right to dignity and had dismissed the accused's appeal against his conviction and sentencing. In August 2019, the Calcutta High Court had stated that under the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act of 1956, no sex worker exploited for commercial sex can be tried as an accused unless there is a substantial evidence that she was a co-conspirator in the crime. It had also instructed the investigation authorities to recognize sex workers as victims in cases under the Act. Then, on September 2020, the Bombay High Court had ordered the immediate release of 3 women sex workers jailed in Mumbai, stating that prostitution was not a criminal offence under the law and that an adult woman had the right to choose her profession. Let us now talk about the existing laws on sex work in our country. The sex work in India is governed primarily by the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act of 1956, but the IPC and Juvenile Justice Act also have provisions dealing with prostitution and trafficking in India. The Immoral Traffic Prevention Act of 1956 penalizes acts such as keeping a brothel, soliciting in a public place, living off the earnings of sex work, and living with or habitually being in the company of a sex worker. Furthermore, Section 372 and 373 of the IPC also deals with prostitution, but it is restricted to child prostitution only. Also, Sections 366A, 366B, 370A of the IPC deals with punishing for offences of procreation of minor girl, importation of girl from foreign for sex, and exploitation of a trafficked person. This brings us to an important point at this stage. What was the recent order necessitated by? In 2011, the Supreme Court had formed a panel comprising of senior advocates Pradeep Ghosh, Jayant Bhushan, and the NGOs Usha Multipurpose Cooperative Society, Darbar Mahila Samanvaya, and Roshni Academy. The panel was asked to study and to make suitable suggestions on prevention of trafficking and rehabilitation of sex workers who wish to leave sex work. The revised terms of reference on the panel included advising on conditions conducive for sex workers to live with dignity in accordance to Article 21 of Indian Constitution. The panel had submitted its report in 2016. The Centre had submitted in the same year that the panel's recommendations were incorporated in a draft legislation. However, no law has since been made. The Apex Court had been asking the Centre to come up with laws on this issue, but the Centre kept on delaying it. So on May 19, 2022, the court listed 10 recommendations of the panel and directed that 6 of them should be implemented until the Centre comes up with legal frameworks. The Centre has said that it has certain reservations on the remaining 4 recommendations of the panel, and the court has asked it to file its response within the next 6 weeks. This was all about these recent guidelines that have been hailed by many as path-breaking. We hope that you liked this video. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.